Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed. To you it shall be for food. Genesis 1:29. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. Psalm 78:25. Everyday Manna with Lisa.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Everyday Manna. Today we are going to be making breakfast. I love breakfast. Now we're going to make some pancakes with some fruit topping and whipped cream, or else you could do the pancakes with the traditional syrup, however you like it. We're going to make the pancakes a little different. To go along with that, we're going to make some bacon, and we're going to do caramelized bacon, which is out of this world good. And then we're going to have a little morning sunshine drink that just to wake your day up. So let's get started. I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. Now, I discovered this trick some time ago, and I've done it before with you on the show, and so many people have asked me about this. So let's just take a moment just to reflect on what we're doing. I used to fry bacon in a skillet until one day I tried baking it in the oven. And let me tell you, I don't fry bacon anymore unless it's just chopped up and going in something like a sauce or something like that. But overwhelmingly, I bake my bacon. Turn your oven on to 400 degrees. I just sometimes line it with this. I love this non-stick Reynolds wrap. Love that stuff. It's just such a time saver in the kitchen. Sometimes I line my pans and sometimes I don't. It just whatever you want to do that particular day. Couldn't be easier. Now I'm cooking a whole pound of bacon. Just lay the bacon pieces out on a sheet pan, and sometimes you gotta kind of, flip them back and forth to sort of nestle them in there. But this is delicious, and you don't have to put the caramelized brown sugar coating on there if you don't want to, but let me tell you, it's delicious. I love bacon. Anybody that watches this show knows that, and my children adore it. So we do bacon quite often at my house, but and I don't fry it. I bake it in the oven because it's so much easier and it's so much neater. And then you don't have to deal with, I'm going to use 2 sheet pans. You don't have to deal with the mess that comes along with bacon. You know how that goes. You're frying it in the skillet and it splatters everywhere. Even if you use the little splatter guard, which I do use a whole lot at home and here on the show, but this is just so much easier. And I'll tell you, the bacon stays flat. You know how when you fry it in a skillet, it kind of curls up and shrinks into nothing? For whatever reason, I guess it's the even heat all around it, it does not do that in the oven. It stays flat, and it's wonderful, and it's so much easier. And so many people have stopped me and said, I tried that. I tried baking it. Now I never, ever cook bacon in a skillet. I always put it in the oven. And if you need to lay some across the top, you can do that. You don't want to crowd it too much. You want to give it room to kind of do its thing here. So let's put one under there. And then we can nestle one in here, okay, be fine. Let's scoot those over. Make it work, make it fit. But delicious. So there you go. Put your bacon on a sheet pan. And then, of course, you can just bake it like this, but we're going to kind of jazz it up just a little bit. I have in this bowl just some light brown sugar because this particular recipe is going to be caramelized bacon. And the brown sugar will just get delicious. It's got some molasses in there, so it'll add a touch of sweetness to it. You don't want too much brown sugar over the bacon because you don't want to smother out that good smoky bacon flavor. And when I do anything like this with my bacon, I put any kind of a syrup, sometimes I put maple syrup on here, or anything like that, I do try to line my pans because I promise you cleanup is much, much, much easier if you do this. And I love peppered bacon. And so I will put some pepper over this. Just put a little bit on each one. Your oven, again, is at 400 degrees because you want to blast it with that hot air. And it only takes about 20 minutes or so in the oven. to completely cook through to your desired crispness. In my house, we have 2 camps on bacon. Of course, we like it done, but Mike, my husband, likes it really super, super crispy. Austin's kind of, well, I guess we have 3 camps, because Austin's kind of in between, and I don't like mine really super crispy. I like mine done, but just a tiny bit soft. So I have to take some out, and Aaron is with me, my little Aaron, and he and I are in the same ballpark where that's concerned. He likes his just like I like mine. So I take some out when it's to the doneness that I like, and I leave it in there for Mike. So however you like it, about 20 minutes for me. Cover it with some black pepper, freshly ground. I'm not a fan of pre-ground pepper. Some people don't mind it, but I guarantee you, if you will try fresh ground pepper, you will never want the pre-ground stuff again. My little mom, I finally got her, and in the grocery stores where you buy the pepper, you can get the little disposable little grinders that you can just, use it up, and they run them on sale at my store quite often, like $1. So it's really, and the flavor is just no comparison. So I always use freshly ground pepper. Now sometimes, I will say, if I'm doing a lot of cooking, I will take my peppercorns and put them, I have a little grinder, it's actually a little mini coffee mill that I use exclusively for spices and things like that. And I will grind my peppercorns in that little spice thing and put it in a little bowl on my counter if I'm doing a lot of cooking, but otherwise I just do it like that. 400 degrees, about 20 minutes. You might want to check it and rotate your pans, because we'll have, one of course is down closer to the heat source. About 20 minutes or so, and it will be scrumptiously delicious. And you can just throw away that lining, and the pan is clean, and it's a whole lot neater than your cooking it in a skillet. A whole lot better than that. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to clean up a little bit, and we're going to get ready, and we're going to make a wonderful little breakfast drink. I'll be right back with you in just a minute. Chapter 23, verse 6 says, "And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." Friends, as children of God, this assures us that we have an eternal life with Him forever. This world is only our temporary home. We're just simply passing through. As children of God, our names are written in the Lamb's Book of Life. When you became God's son or daughter, a new mansion was built. You are truly changing the landscape of heaven. A new mansion was constructed, built just for you, for eternity. So we will dwell forever in the house of the Lord with Him in heaven. And welcome back. Now our bacon is in the oven. We've just lined 2 baking sheets with some nonstick aluminum foil, which is a great tool to have in the kitchen. Laid our bacon out in one single layer and then sprinkled it with just a little bit of brown sugar, light brown sugar, and some fresh cracked black pepper over top. 400 degrees for about 20 minutes or so until it's done to the doneness that you like. Now, to go alongside that, of course, I am a major coffee drinker. I love coffee, but sometimes you just want to have a little something different to have with your breakfast. Or in this case, this particular meal would be a great little brunch dish. And sometimes I'll tell you, breakfast for dinner, if you've never done that, if I can't think of anything I want, breakfast always fits the bill. So you could serve this for breakfast, brunch, lunch, or dinner, or late night snack if you wanted to. So we want to have a little drink that just goes alongside our wonderful little bacon, and we're going to make pancakes. Now, we have 1 container of just frozen orange juice that you buy in the grocery stores, and I have left it out to kind of thaw. And I don't have a big punch bowl here, so I'm just going to kind of divide it into 2 pitchers. But if you have a great big punch bowl, that's what I would use, but I don't have one here, so we're going to just improvise and just use 2 pretty little pitchers. Now, I want to talk just a minute about this next ingredient, because I bet many of you have seen it and don't have a clue what it is. In the grocery stores, every grocery store out there, it's found in 2 different places. This particular brand I got in the section where they sell the taco shells and the Mexican foodstuffs. They will always have a little section, a little shelving unit that has different kinds of nectars and drinks. This particular one is apricot nectar. You can also find it over in the section where you buy soft drinks, and it will be over there with, you know, the sparkling water and the club sodas and things like that. Oftentimes you can get it there. This is a concentrate, and it's just 1 can, 50 cents, no big, it's not expensive at all. We're going to put half in here, and it smells so good. It smells like an apricot, which I dearly love apricots. And you can get this in different flavors. I'm using the apricot, but you could use, you know, whatever kind of mixture that your family likes. But try new things, get new flavors started. And I'm just stirring this to dissolve that orange juice concentrate. Both of those are concentrated products, so we gotta dilute them down with a little bit of something. So we're gonna use 2 different things. I've got some pineapple juice. You could use white cranberry grape. You could use anything you like. And we're just gonna kinda, to about half of this, just kind of fill it up with a little bit of pineapple juice. You could use whatever you like. Smells good. And then we're going to use some ginger ale, just to kind of add a little fizz to our drink. We're going to use this ginger ale also somewhere else in just a few minutes that I bet some of you have never, ever tried. And this is just a wonderful little fruit drink. You could serve over ice, or just make sure your ingredients are cold, however you like. I don't like my drinks real cold, but some people do. Mike does. Stir it together. That ginger ale will kind of defizz here in just a second. And then let me pour some in a glass here and show you how to serve it. It's delicious. And you can change out those juices to anything you like. If you don't have ginger ale, maybe you've got Sprite or something like that, you could use that too. But isn't that a pretty little drink? Tastes so good. Really, 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 really good. To garnish it and also to add a little bit of flavor, I bought an orange. I love oranges. They're so good. This particular one is a navel orange, and it's a big one. My little Aaron, my son, my youngest son, loves these oranges called Cara Cara oranges. Absolutely loves those things, and he will eat them like crazy. But my store didn't have any Cara Caras. And they had these on sale, so that's what I bought, because they smell really good. Let's see what they taste like. Really good. So float you some little orange slices in there. Just makes it pretty, decorates it up a little bit. And you can always, I won't get the one I ate off of, take a little piece of your orange to decorate your little glass with, and make it festive for your family. Because really and truly, Who's more important than your family? Eat that orange. Really, really good. And that's a wonderful little snack type drink. Very healthy for your family. Your kids will love it. So try that today. But that's just a great little breakfast drink to serve any day of the week. Couldn't be better. Delicious. So let's get that out of the way. I'll have that drink before we get the program over probably. Really good. Let me see. Let's put our oranges aside. And we are going to make pancakes. Now, I love pancakes. Absolutely love it. And probably, truthfully, if I had to pick a favorite breakfast, it would be pancakes and bacon. I love the flavor of that smoky bacon with pancakes with syrup drizzled over it. And I eat that quite often. But today, we're going to make pancakes just a little tiny bit different. I'm going to get cleaned up, finish cleaning up, get our griddle out and get it hot. We're going to take a quick break. And when I come back, I'm going to show you a quick, easy, different recipe for pancakes for your family to enjoy. I'll be back with you in just a minute.
Check it out.
When it gets cold,
Hey, get that
feels like the end. There's no place to go, you know I won't give in. No, I won't give in. Keep holding on, 'cause you know we'll make it through, we'll make it.
All right, now welcome back. Now I have a confession to make. The bacon is done, and we were really worried that we might not have enough for you to see. The bacon, I just took it off the sheet and laid it on some paper toweling to kind of drain, and I'm here to tell you that is absolutely delicious with that brown sugar and that pepper on there. But we gotta let that wait just a minute. We gotta make our pancakes. Now, we're gonna make some pancakes, and we're gonna serve it with fruit. Now, you could use whatever kind of fruit that your family likes. Originally, this recipe was written for blackberries, but the blackberries, to be honest with you, were just simply too expensive this morning. So I substituted strawberries and bananas, which is delicious with pancakes. So I'm just slicing some wonderful little berries here. I love strawberries, so be perfectly fine. I've got my little griddle here. You don't need too many, just enough to kind of go over there. And let's just go ahead and peel our banana and get our banana sliced, because we're going to put some slices of banana over it too. Make a little fruit compote sort of thing. You could use blueberries, you could use raspberries, whatever kind of fruit you like would be delicious on here. The key is get it how you like it. I love these little griddles like this, and I use these all the time for pancakes. This is getting hot, so let's get our mixture together. Now, I like the little boxed pancake mixes, and I personally prefer the buttermilk style pancake mixes. So this is just 2 cups of a boxed pancake mix that calls for water. But, you know, we're going to jazz this up just a little bit, and instead of water, we're going to use ginger ale. And I bet you've never done that. You could use club soda, you could use sparkling water or juice or whatever you like to make the flavors different. My brother-in-law makes pancakes for his family, my sister and my niece and nephew, and he mixes it up with all kinds of different stuff. I think he even put Diet Coke in there one time. So you can use it, just because the recipe says water does not mean you have to use water. You can use whatever kind of liquid that you want to use. The ginger ale or sparkling water or anything that with the carbonation is going to make the pancakes just a little bit lighter and fluffier. And this is one of those things, depends on the humidity of the day. That's a little tiny bit runny, so I'm going to add just a little more of my dry pancake mix. You don't want it too runny, but you certainly don't want it too stiff. This is gonna be perfect. Depends on the humidity. If it's rainy, you're gonna need less. If it's dry, you're gonna need more liquid. It just depends, honestly, in baking on the humidity of the day. That's perfect. You don't wanna overmix it. It's okay to see little lumps. You see in there how we've got those little bitty lumps in there? Perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Our griddle is hot. Actually, it's very hot. It's on like 350 degrees. I'm going to actually spray this with a little bit of non-stick baking spray, but I'm also gonna add a little butter. That's really hot. Let's turn that down just a hair, because that's really, really hot. And I'm gonna add a little butter because I really like the flavor of butter with my pancakes. And just kind of melt that butter, and it'll brown a little bit, and that's okay. That just adds a nutty flavor to your pancakes. Come on, you. Come off there. My little boy, Austin, I make pancakes every morning. Chocolate chip pancakes, just about every morning for him. I like to use a little measuring scoop, about 1/3 a cup. I don't like really big pancakes. You can make them as big or as small as you like, but I like about 1/3 of a cup measuring utensil. Because I find if you make them too big, honestly, I think they're too hard to flip. So I make mine a little smaller, and to me, a serving of pancakes is 3. But you do whatever your family likes. Now, let me tell you, for those of you who don't know how to cook pancakes, and I'm finding there's a lot of beginner cooks that watch this show, what you want to watch for, I made this one a little odd shape, so let's get that out of there. You want to watch the top, if they'll zoom in real close, you want to watch the tops of your pancakes. You want to put it on a hot griddle, start hot. And what you're looking for are lots of little bubbles. As you can see on this one, you can see the little bubbles starting to come forth and burst. You want to have the top of your pancake kind of riddled with those little bubbles. Now, if you wanted to do what I do every day and make these chocolate chip pancakes, just take some little mini chocolate chips, and at this stage, just sprinkle some chocolate chips on the top. And then when you flip them, the chocolate kind of melts. And my little boy dearly loves those things, and he eats them just about every morning, because that's, you know, and we do some different things with it, but he loves chocolate chip pancakes. So I make those a lot. And I really, honestly, I have developed recipes for homemade pancake mix, and honestly, I find that the good brand box mixes are just as good, and it's a whole lot easier, and that's pantry stable, so you know that'll keep in your pantry. In my house doesn't last very long, but you know, I would probably pour that into a Ziploc container and zip it, you know, tight to keep it fresh, but that'll last for months in your pantry. So I just use the box mixes. Now let's see how we are. Another way to tell is to kind of lift up one. Nope, they need just a minute more. I like a non-stick griddle type surface like this one to make pancakes on at home. I have one of these, and I also have one of those little flat non-stick little griddle pans that you can do on the stove if you're just gonna make a few pancakes. So just use whatever you like. Be careful though with your non-stick, even if it says metal utensil safe, I always use plastic or wood on my non-stick surface because you don't want to scratch that up. All right, let's flip them. Get your spatula under there and turn it over. Very carefully, step back because sometimes it'll splatter on you and it's hot. And there you go. For you beginner cooks out there, know that the second side takes about half the time of the original side, and they're just, you want them to be golden just like this, and just press them down. You want to flip pancakes only one time. You don't want to flip them back and forth. That makes them tough. So just flip it over. Again, the carbonation that we used in our ginger ale, and the reason I used ginger ale is because I had ginger ale that I made our little breakfast drink with, but you could use anything you wanted. You could use just water, which is what the box calls for. You could use any kind of a liquid that you want. That's how you develop recipes, and that's how you make things uniquely yours, is you change up the ingredients. If it calls for a liquid in something like this, add flavor to it. It'll have a little bit of a different taste, but it will be delicious. Let's see how we're doing, because the second side only takes about half the time. They need just a minute more, so let's start plating up our food. A wonderful bacon. Oh, you have got to try this recipe. If you are a bacon fan, and I seriously am, then you need to try this. It really is delicious. The brown sugar just kind of caramelizes on the plate, and it is just simply delicious. That one broke, so I think we better eat the other half. So good. So very, very good. That bacon, I could eat that whole pound, but I won't. But I could. So there's our wonderful little bacon. Perfect. 3 pancakes on our plate. Now, of course, you absolutely could, let's scoot those over here, could serve that with syrup. And I have some syrup right here, either maple syrup or pancake syrup, whatever your family likes. But to kind of make it a little different this morning and a little healthier, we are going to serve ours with some fruit. The little strawberries and bananas that we cut up earlier, or whatever combination of fruit that your family likes. You use what you like. My strawberries are making a mess here. Look how pretty that looks. Oh, with that bacon. Then, of course, you could, optional, pour syrup over that, would be delicious. Or you could just use some whipped cream. You could make your own whipped cream with heavy whipping cream and a little sugar, but I'm just going to use the kind that you buy in the little aerosol can, if I can get it to come out here. And there you go.